Hey guys, Juke here, and we are here with the one and only lovely Paulie. Paulie, how's it going?
Good.
What'd you do today?
Got top 4 at ARG Hartford, 2017.
That's great. What'd you play?
I played Metal Foes. So, all my friends strongly told me to play DDDs this weekend, and I play tested a lot with it over the last month, and like I was prepared to play it. I debated playing it, but in the end I decided to play this because this is a deck that like I've been playing. Like I felt like this is a deck I've been playing for a while. Like I know really well, and I felt like that was the deck I wanted to go with. And I really like my build. It's 45 cards. I really like. So I'll explain. So I'll get started.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah. So 3 gold driver.
Yep.
3 silver. 3 Wolf Flame, and 3 Stealing. I did that in a terrible fashion, but you can see what they are.
Yeah. No, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah.
3 Bismuth Gear.
Yep.
3 Eccentric. 3 Bunbuku.
Yep.
1 Kieran. 1 Luster.
Of course, the one here.
All standard stuff. Love all these cards. You do so many cool things with this deck. So much toolboxing. 1 Rabbit. You side this out pretty much every game, but it's there. It gives you fuel for combos sometimes. 3 Gofu. So this is where my deck differs a little bit from a lot of Metal Foes players' decks. Gofu was popular for a while, and I think it still should be. A lot of people play the Cleese instead. The problem with the Cleese is both the Cleese and Gofu add ceiling to your deck. They add an extra play, but Gofu diversifies your plays. So whereas the Cleese, it gives you extra ceiling, but it still relies on your Pendulum Summon. So if they block your Pendulum Summon, you're still shut down for the turn. With Gofu, you're diversifying your plays. You're doing an additional play in addition to your Pendulum Summon. So if they have, let's say, Strike or Barrier, you can still play. You're making a Synchro, you're Ignis Ring. It baits Strike really well. It plays through back rows, and if you go first, you just make Void over. So Gofu's a really good card. And then 2 Maxi. You have to make 2 Maxi, obviously. Against DDDs, it's so good.
Everybody did that.
3 Desires. Some people still play 2. I've played 3 in every deck since it came out. I don't think I'd play less than 3. 3 Painful Decision. I was at 2 originally because this is a 45 card deck. Again, like I said, I'll explain why in a second why there's 3 Painful Decision. There's also 3 Summoner's Art. So one thing of note, I play 3 Summoner's Arts with 3 Wolf Flames and no other targets. So basically the idea behind this deck is I like maximum combo pieces. I like very consistent builds, as consistent as possible, rather than added tech or anything. And so just these are literally here just for added combo pieces. Now, what happened was I was at 40 and I added in Maxis into the main. This was about a month ago, which put it to 42. And I realized I actually wanted, because I had added 2 more cards in that were non-combo pieces, I actually wanted to add in additional cards that were combo pieces. So in this deck, the ratios are actually more important than the actual count. I think ratios are more important than total count because there are cards in this deck that you don't want to draw, and if the cards you don't, which are the Metal Foes spells and traps, if the cards you don't want to draw, if the negative of drawing those cards is worse than the benefit of drawing the cards you want to see, like Bunbuku, there's cards you don't want to see more than there's cards you want to see. So if the cards you're adding in to bump up the count are combo pieces themselves, it's worth it to basically fill the deck with extra combo pieces for extra consistency. So that's basically the concept behind it. This build is really consistent. I really like it. It just sets up combo really well. That's basically the goal of this deck. Combo is to end with. I'll get to that in a second. These are combo. Fusion, 2 quick play fusion, and 2 combination. So this, I absolutely feel you have to play this lineup. So the combo requires 2 quick play spells. The combo is to end with 2 of these set, along with 1 of these, along with a Mithrilium on board, along with 1 other Metal Foe. It's a lot, but you get to it a lot. With this build, I find you get to it about 50% of the time. The play is to then, on their turn, fuse the Mithrilium with the other Metal Foe, chain combination to the fusion. So you bring back the Mithrilium. The Mithrilium, you make Orcal. The combination brings back the Mithrilium, and the Mithrilium brings back the other Metal Foe. Then, when you need to disrupt them on their turn, you play the second quick play. You make Alcahest with the Orcal and the other Metal Foe. Now you have an Orcal pop and an Alcahest take. That's the combo. And to do that, you need 2 of these. So you have to play 2 of these along with fusion. And the second combination, a lot of people don't agree with. I think you absolutely need to play 2 of these. Every time I've sided one of these out, the second one comes up. You miss it. So I think it's one of those cases where when you don't play a card, you don't realize what the value that's not there. But when having actually played 2, like I know like when you take one out, like it comes up. If you hit off desires, then you can't do combo because you need one. Sometimes just using 2 to just toolbox through your deck and float is really good. It's definitely 2 combination. And then lastly, Upstart and Emptiness. I just skipped this by accident.
Yeah.
And then Emptiness this is actually the card I most was willing to cut from my deck this weekend. But that would have been a bad idea. This card's really good.
Of course, yeah.
So that's my main, and then my extra deck. 3 Mithrilium.
Of course.
Definitely a 3. I've played with 2 for a long time. You can, but like the third one comes up, it's much better with 3. 2 Orichalc, 2 Outcast. You don't need 2 of these. The second Orichalc definitely comes up because sometimes you'll use the first one for the pot play, and then the second one to pierce for game and mid game. The second Outcast rarely comes up, but the value in having a second one is like if you have extra copies in your extra deck, you don't have to put them back with Mithrilium, which allows you to put the spells and traps back with Mithrilium. That's why the extra copies are beneficial, because a lot of times you want to put so much stuff back with Mithrilium, but you can only put back 2 cards per turn, because it's once per turn effect. So having the extra copies in your extra deck so that you don't have to put them back, that's beneficial. So those are good. 1 Adamante, it comes up sometimes in top 8, like I made this for game by fusing with an Orichalc and a Gofu in battle phase, like niche stuff like that, like it comes up in rare situations. So 1 of him, and then Xyz, Utopia, Lightning, Breaksword. Sometimes you just need this, like when it comes up, it's needed, and Breaksword has a lot of synergy with the deck, it's really good. You don't need any other Xyz. Castel never comes up, but these are good. And then for Synchros, I play 4, Void Ogre and Ignister. This is the main one you make if you're going first, this is the main one you make if you're going second. This card's really cool against DDDs, because you can pop their scale and then spin their gate, like you clear 2 of their pieces with this, that's really good. Vermilion, this doesn't really come up, but sometimes if you open Gold Driver with Gofu and you don't have a level 3, and you need to make a 9, it comes up, and then Omega. I needed a 5th, there was actually an extra space in this extra deck, so for people building this deck, if there's something else you want to play, you can play it. Like this is the 15th card, this never came up, there's basically an open space in this extra deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then lastly, side. 2 MST, 2 Twin Twister. I like 2-2 because there's certain decks where Twin Twister is just really important. This card's just too good not to play, I think. Also, like sometimes my second people say, well, it's a deck where you need every card. You can't afford to discard. Sometimes you'll open like a dead quick play spell or a dead combination, and you can discard it for that. So it's fine. Paleozoics mainly, this is good against. Monarch Cosmo, some rogue decks that's really important against. And then MST you side in pretty much every game going first and second. It's a combo piece, cliff to pop combination, and it disrupts your opponent if you need to. For DDs, 3 Lava Golem and 2 DD Crow. So these are so good. These are better than these, definitely. Like, so if you crow Lamia, so crowing Lamia actually effectively takes away 2 of their monsters, 2 of their plays. Like, because DD's ending goal is to end with like Omega, Harbinger, Crystalling. Basically, if you hit Lamia, you're taking away their potential to do 2 synchros with this. So this is just really good. Unless they have a way to access second Lamia, but that's awkward for them to do. Like, that's like not desirable for them. So DD Crow is really good. And Lava Golem, same. Like, you literally just board it over 2 of their bodies, and then they lose 2 of their disruption bodies. And the normal summon quest doesn't really it's good in this deck because like the only card that conflicts with this is Bunbuku. You don't usually need your normal, so those are good. And then 2 system down because I just consider an established ADC Dragon Buster is just I just think is impossible for almost any deck to out, like the amount of advantage you just generate off that. So you need outs to Dragon Buster. So 2 of those. 2 Retaliating for the mirror. Like I wanted something for the mirror. And Retaliating, it's pretty good. If you resolve, it's pretty good. It was actually kind of underwhelming the 1 or 2 times I resolved it this weekend, but something for the mirror. Like you could do 2 Typhoons. I might change this for. And then 2 Barrier. Whenever I'd be going first, I'd side these in. Usually take the Maxis out for them. This is a really good card. I considered maining it, but I just decided I never wanted it in my deck going second. I have to test it more. It might be something to consider, but I just sided in for going first, and it worked very well. So that's my deck.
Okay, I have like 2 quick questions.
Sure.
So I know she didn't main MST, and you played double combination. Why?
don't like maining MST in this deck at all. So the idea is that if you go first, it's a combo piece. If you go second, it outs something. But in reality, it's actually like if you're going first, that's decent. It's a combo piece. I don't actually want MST going second, at least in game 1. In games 2 and 3, I do, because you need fragrance outs. But in game 1, if you're going second, like what are the cards that you're afraid of? Strike and Barrier. If you hit Barrier, it doesn't do anything because they chain it. And as far as Strike, like if you're MSTing blind, you're not likely to hit the Strike. So the cards you need to worry about, this doesn't actually help contribute to stopping game 1. So I don't like it in the main. And even as a combo piece, like the way it works out, because you have to set combination to get this off, like you get a scale. It's hard to explain, but you get a scale, but you don't get a search off that scale because you lose the search. You lose the search from your prior. So having MST as opposed to an actual scale ends you with one less search. So it's not that great as a combo piece. But yeah. But
quick question. Just like,
sure.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I don't mind. I'm done with that.
I really want to know, why did you play Zolkin? Because when I saw the level 5 fusion, I immediately thought that you were playing Zolkin.
So I have pretty much since Invasion Vengeance come out, most Metalfoe players cut Zolkin. The reason is you're normally making Mithriliums or Calx Algahest type plays. So to do Tolkien, it takes Gofu and your fusion play for that turn. So you're getting one play, whereas you could be getting 2 if you make Void Ogre and the fusion plays. So that's why the Adamante is just there because sometimes there are situations where you need to fuse with Gofu for game, and that's the only fusion you can make with Gofu. So yeah, or like a random like Maxi or DD Crow. Sometimes like that does game. So that's why that's there.
Okay, it makes sense. Anything else you want to say about your deck?
No, that's pretty much it. It's 45 with Upstart. The reason you play Upstart, even though it's over 40, is if you hit it off Desires, you'll hit Upstart about 1 in 3 games, maybe 1 in 4 off Desires. 2 and 9 because like it's 45 per deck. So that being said, when you hit Upstart off Desires, it makes it as if you're only banishing 9 cards. So it makes the average number of cards you're banishing off Desires about 9.75 instead of 10. That's the only reason, and if you draw it, it's just another card. So I might cut it only because now against DDDs, the 1,000 is kind of relevant because DDDs sometimes lose to one of your win conditions against them is them burning themselves to death. So now the 1,000 actually can be relevant. So I might cut the Upstart, but that's what the Upstart's for. It's 45. I really like the ratios in this deck. Again, ratios are more important than total count sometimes. And that's that. Lastly, I do want to
shout-outs.
Before we go, shout-outs to my team, Team Black Tees. We got 3rd out of the 17 teams that played this weekend. We didn't quite make the 2-team playoff, but we got 3rd. And shout out to my teammates Kevin, Matt, Armand, Mike, and Jamie. And shout out to my friends on Team PC. They put a ton of work into this event, and unfortunately they didn't do so well, but they're also friends of mine, and they put a lot of work into the DDD deck. And shout out to my friend Mark Tardif for literally lending me 3 barriers for 3 months. I think that's it. Shout out to Team Dyson Sphere also. They're also friends of mine. They're right over there.
Yeah.
And that's it. Thanks.
All right, thank you for Deck Profo. Congratulations on your top man, and hope to see you at more events.
Thanks.
Peace.